I never thought it would happen. Last year I thought was the best year in anime of all time. And this year somehow surpassed last year. There was a multitude of amazing new anime and sequels that we were rewarded with this year. But which ones do I like the best? So without further ado, I am Tiago with Attack on Tiago, and for today's video I'll be going over the top 10 best anime of 2022. Per my opinion, of course. A quick note before I begin. Obviously this is my opinion, so your list will probably be much different than mine. But please let me know in the comments what you'll disagree with or what your top 10 is. And lastly, I obviously didn't see every anime to come out in 2022. So there may be a really good one you're expecting that I may have not seen. Although that is tough since I watched approximately 60 anime this year. So let's get started. Starting the list at number 10 is one of the most unique romance anime I've seen, Romantic Killer. Romantic Killer tells the story of Anzu Hoshino, a high school girl who loves three things in this world: video games, chocolate, and her cat. But one day those three things are taken away from her from the wizard Riri, and is forced to participate in a real-life otome game where she must find love. Romantic Killer is bolstered by its excellent animation and creative style. And on top of that, the characters all lend a lot to the comedy and overall story of Romantic Killer. Anzu also happens to be one of the best romance protagonists in recent years. All of this culminates in a great entry in the top 10. Next at number 9 is the video game adaptation by Trigger, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Cyberpunk tells the story of a street kid trying to survive in a technology and body modification city of the future. But when his mother is killed and he's lost the will to live, he decides to become an edgerunner, a mercenary outlaw. Trigger went above and beyond with this adaptation, bringing many callbacks and a similar formula to what made series like Gurren Lagann so successful. The art style and world building of Cyberpunk Edgerunners are highlights, and ending with an epic finale. Do yourself a favor, watch this 10-episode series if you haven't already. Now, in number 8 is a series that may surprise you. It is Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. This third season continues following our favorite teenager Esper, Shigeo, or otherwise known as Mob. But this time with the arrival of a divine tree and a new psycho helmet cult forming, Shigeo and Reagan must find a way to stop the spread. Now, Mob Psycho 100 is one of my all-time favorite anime series. Let me make that clear. And this season's by no means disappointing. I still love it enough to place it here. However, some of the arcs in this third season I wasn't quite a fan of compared to previous arcs. I'm looking at you, weird alien episode. But nevertheless, Mob Psycho 100 still has that amazing animation, action, and comedy that we've all come to expect. So it deserves a top 10 placement. Next at number 7 is a supernatural mystery thriller, Summertime Render. When Shinpei's childhood friend passed away, he decides to return to his beloved hometown, which is on a small island. But something seems off with her death. A sinister omen is heard as his entire family disappears the following day. So it's up to Shinpei to uncover the truth behind his friend's death and unravel a mystery surrounding this island for hundreds of years. This anime was intense and had me on the edge of my seat every episode. From the ominous music to the way the anime's story unravels information, I loved every second of it. Having a 25-episode run, I was worried the mystery will lose its stride, but it never did. Summertime Render combined the best elements of series like Re:Zero and Higurashi to make something truly spectacular. Just missing out on the top 5, at number 6 we have Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic. Now with its third season, Kaguya-sama Love is War continues the story of the student council's competitive day-to-day antics, only highlighted by Miyuki and Kaguya trying to one-up the other to profess their love first. On top of this all, Ishigami is trying to figure out how to confess his love to a cheerleader. Miko Ino is trying to get used to being the new student council member, and Chika is, well, still being Chika. Kaguya-sama Love is War is one of my all-time favorite rom-com series, having an excellent, unique concept for a romance series and having some of the best comedy bits I have seen. And the whole main cast of characters is one of the strongest cast of characters you could find in any series out there. Kaguya-sama Love is War continues to up itself, with this season being its best season so far. Just making the top 5, we have the comedy music slice of life series, Bocchi The Rock. Wanting to make friends and get popular at school, Hitori, otherwise known as Bocchi, devotes her time to playing guitar. 3 years later, and after getting very good at it, Bocchi still has no friends and is not popular, until one day she encounters Nijika, who is looking for a guitarist to be a member of her band. Now being in a band, Bocchi and her band members strive to improve as musicians while also making most of their fleeting high school days. Bocchi The Rock is my surprise hit of the year, coming out of nowhere and thoroughly impressing me. Bocchi The Rock helms an excellent creative and art team that makes full use of everyday references and Easter eggs to put Bocchi and the band members' antics to life. It is genuinely one of the most fun experiences of the year and made me smile beginning to end every episode. Arriving at number 4 is one of the biggest new anime of the year that made everyone want to have a 6-year-old daughter. Spy X Family. The super spy Twilight is given his hardest mission yet, to put together a fake family, infiltrate a prestigious school, and befriend Donovan Desmond, a chairman who's threatening peace efforts between two nations. Only problem is finding a suitable fake daughter and fake wife. So in comes Anya, the daughter, who ends up being a telepath, and his wife Yor, who just so happens to be an assassin, and together they form the Forger family. Spy X Family has cemented itself as one of the best comedy series, and like Kaguya-sama Love is War, Spy X Family has an excellent cast of characters who play off each other so well and have outstanding chemistry. But of course, the highlight of the anime has to be Anya, the telepath for me, as every bit of comedy essentially runs right through her, since she knows both of her fake parents' secrets and tries her best to keep the family together. Another series that had me grinning non-stop every episode. Now, at number 3 is a complete tonal shift from number 4, going from lighthearted family spy comedy to a dark sci-fi fantasy. Main Abyss Season 2. This season of Main Abyss continues after the movie and finds our group of explorers venturing down to the 6th layer of the Abyss, known as the capital of the Unreturned. But everything here isn't as it seems. As Riko, Reg, and Nanachi start exploring more of the 6th layer, the more they learn of the dark past that took place right before them. Main Abyss continues to be one of my favorite series of all time, with this excellent second season. It's not just the story or characters that make Main Abyss so good, but the world building is second to none. Every small detail of every layer feels so mysterious and intriguing, and every episode of Season 2 has you feeling such an array of emotions with the characters. And to top that all off, the score and soundtrack is one of the best I've listened to in anime. Main Abyss, with this second season and its introduction of a fan favorite character in Faputa, has cemented itself as a modern masterpiece. We have now reached the top 2, and coming in at number 2 and sticking with the theme of sequels of some of my favorite anime series, we have Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. Turning against his former allies and enemies alike, Eren Yeager has set a disastrous plan in motion with the help of Zeke. Having to ally with his former enemies, Reiner and Mikasa must form an alliance and plan the best measure of counterattack to stop Eren's plan and put an end to this worldwide conflict. Attack on Titan has become maybe the biggest anime of the decade, and this season is one of its best yet. Eren continues to be such an intriguing and polarizing character, and the story of the season gave us so many twists and revelations that highlight some of the best this series has to offer, all culminating in a final Part 3 next anime season. But I'm assuming many of you know that, since Attack on Titan is so big that many of you probably have watched this already.
一 つ限りの騙し討ちですよ。マガト元帥。
And finally, at number 1, the most anticipated new anime in my lifetime that had the highest expectations I have ever seen pre-episode 1. That is Chainsaw Man. Denji is a teenage boy living with a chainsaw devil named Pochita. Due to the debt his father left behind, he has been living a rock-bottom life while repaying his debt by harvesting devil corpses with Pochita. But one day, Denji is betrayed and killed, and as consciousness fades, he makes a contract with Bocchi and gets revived as Chainsaw Man, and he is later found and taken in by the public safety devil hunters. Chainsaw Man delivered on everything an adaptation should be, plus more. Let's start with the opening, containing not just a great song, but amazing visuals and a lot of references that many people have dissected just the opening itself. Every episode also happens to have its own ending song and ending visuals done by popular artists like TK and Aimer. Now, why am I saying all this? Mentioning things that don't pertain with the anime itself. Well, to show the amount of care and passion the team put into making sure this adaptation was not just amazing, but one of the best series of all time. And as someone who wasn't a huge fan of the manga, they delivered. The animation looks fluid, the fights are breathtaking, the main cast of characters are great. When looking back on 2022, I will remember this year being the year where Chainsaw Man took over as the next big hit. And it just so happens to be my favorite anime of 2022.
今の駅前にお願いします。いや、ナマコわかります？え？いや、何？
Well everyone, that is it for the video. What are your guys' thoughts on my list? And if you guys want to share your top 10 favorite anime of 2022, let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. I am Tiago, the Attack on Tiago, and I hope you all have a nice day.